Associate, City of New York, and I'm here with a fantastic candidate for City Council, Alex Caruso. Alex is running for Democratic nomination for City Council, District 19, Queens. He is an intelligent, hardworking guy, substitute teacher, turns up for absolutely everything. He knows the community inside and out, and I'm here today to say, Alex, you have my full endorsement, and we're very, very proud that you're stepping up for New York City. And I'm going to introduce Ismail Malave Perez. We're going to get to Mom after that. Ismail Malave Perez is running for comptroller for the City of New York. We'll let Ismail say a few words about Alex.
Work together.
For me, it's an honor to be here to support Alex, someone that I spent time with in Albany and in the car campaigning across the city. Somebody who's a fighter, an advocate, and is going to be a great councilman. So I'm really honored and happy to be here as a citywide candidate running for city controller. Ismael Malave Perez humbly endorses my friend Alex Caruso for New York City Council.
District 19.
Yes. And I'm also honored to introduce someone who is true and dear to our heart, Martha Flores Vasquez, the local district leader, the one and only Martha Flores Vasquez.
Go Marta, we love you.
I have the honor of speaking and making an endorsement today, but first, I would like the First Lady of the House to speak, because if it wasn't for her, we would not have Alex Caruso. Alex has his mom standing by his side.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Come on, Mom, your turn.
Hi everyone, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, for all the endorsements. You guys have all been wonderful people. Everyone has helped Alex tremendously. He's fairly new at this, and he's giving it 110% of himself. He shows up for everything. He's so invested in the community and in the people, and I'm very, very proud of him.
Let's go,
You
Alex.
should be. He's great.
Yes.
We love Alex.
Give it back to
I love
Martha.
Okay, so you all know that this is the 40th Assembly District, and you all know that I have been the district leader for 2 decades. I was elected in 2002. It is 2025, and I'm still standing. And I'm still standing
Let's go,
in the
Martha.
place where I first announced my district leadership, Flushing Town Hall. Because this is a very, very diverse community. This is a very diverse district. We're diverse economically, socially, and ethnically. And for that reason, it is my honor today to say that the first Latino Italian, Alex Caruso, let's give him a hand.
Hey, Alex.
Alex.
Oh, Alex. Because Alex Caruso is the first Latino Italian to run in the 19th Councilmanic District. And because of his background in education, I know that he will be the best qualified candidate to serve not only my part of the district, Flushing, that he will represent, Whitestone, College Point, and he'll tell you about all the other aspects, like Bayside, where he resides, where he grew up, the schools where he went. And I am so, so honored, because we need young people like Alex Caruso, who has energy, who has the stamina to stand before you and say, I represent you here today. I represent you here today and now and forever. Thank you, Alex.
Alex. Alex.
I'll pass this down to him. Don't forget that early voting is going on right now. And don't forget that on Tuesday is election day, and we need your vote in the primary. Thank you so much.
Let's go.
Thank you, Martha. Happy Juneteenth, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Alexander J. Caruso. I am running for City Council District 19 as the Democratic nominee. As the Honorable Martha Flores Vasquez said, I am the only Latino to have run in this district besides her. We need more Latinos now more than ever to run for office, especially with the wackiness that is going on, with how our people have been, pulled left and right. We need a unity for Latinos. We need it's really sad that we're divided as a people. We should be fighting for Latino issues, making sure that we find pathways to citizenship for our brothers and sisters who are coming here. You know, my abuelo came here on a plane, okay, and through chain migration, brought my mother came here at 2 years old, and my abuela who's in Colombia right now, who came here at 2 years old. You know, I'm reminded of what he always used to say. My abuela used to say to me, which is he always told me I could run for president, and we're not here for that. Not yet.
You will. How about that?
Give me. Not yet. You know, we're a little too young for that one, but maybe in the future. But my abuelo, well, he's not here with us anymore. You know, he was a handyman for a very long time, almost his entire life until he retired at 65, something like that. And he always told me that we don't have to. Life does not have to be a zero-sum game. Okay, you can live this life without others suffering. That's what Juneteenth is about. That is what the American dream for Latinos and for everyone should be about. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I also want to mention that today I am also endorsing on the steps of Flushing Town Hall Marty Dolan for Public Advocate.
Marty Dolan.
Thank you for them.
And Ismael Malabe for Controller, for New York City Controller, the only Latino on the ballot citywide. For Controller. Martin Dolan, he is also from Argentina and Irish. Give a hand to those Latinos that have the courage to step forward and say, I want to be at the table. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martha.
Any questions?
I can have a question. Please don't take it personal. And back, I can already know. There's a lot of issues going on with the shelter system. People complain about the shelter system and nothing by the mayor, so-called public advocates. They have tons of complaints. The non-for-profits that claim that support the homeless, nothing is doing about it, about the complaints of the shelter systems. How people live in the shelter
Okay,
and
who
the
wants to
complaints.
answer that question?
So what you need to do urgently in New York is fix the feedback system. So what's happened is that the borough of Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, the outer boroughs as we call them, they have become where the city puts the problems. So they put more shelters, more immigrant centers per capita in Queens than anywhere else. Okay, and it's a long way from City Hall. So my job as public advocate is to make sure that the resources of the city are allocated evenly across the city. So we need a good feedback system, and we need to be vigilant to make sure that those resources are being spread fairly across the city, and that we're getting the resources needed to deal with those problems here in Queens.
My question is very simple. Are you going to pay attention to when the shelter people
Let
shelter
somebody
directly
else answer
complain?
the question.
Yes. So as a candidate running for New York City Controller, I'm going to make sure that I audit the Department of Homeless Services to identify any waste, fraud, or mismanagement and or corruption to make and basically identify how we could fix the Department of Homeless Services to assure that those services for homeless shelters are actually being managed correctly. There's a lot of mismanagement at the homeless shelters. There's a lot of money being wasted, and I'm going to be the guy to identify how we could fix that.
Thank you.
Alex, can you answer the question?
As someone whose district has 15 to about 19% Latinos, this is something that has been brought up to me at doors. I feel like this is adjacent to our housing crisis, in that I am for, ever since COVID, we have a lot of empty office buildings that are not being used anymore, that are just being set there. So I think to handle the homeless crisis, we can make affordable housing and use these office buildings to house people, to make sure they're safe, to make clinics for stuff we already have for people. We don't have to waste necessarily money on new buildings.
Let me clarify. I'm not against the shelter system. I'm against how the people are being treated on the shelter system, and those issues are not being addressed. Like you are less than human, and they got the nerve to make money out of the shelter people and treat them bad.
Okay, is there any other questions?
Okay, thank you.
About
That's it?
That's no cost of housing. I recently was collecting signatures for all of you, and I ran into a Chinese guy. He had a nice conversation with me and my mom on the phone
What's the question?
about the affordability, because he said a lot of Asians are moving.
Question.
I'm saying, would you be able to address the housing crisis, because many Asians are being
Affordability.
priced out of Flushing. That's why they're going to Bayside, Whitestone, Douglaston,
Okay, so you
Little
don't
Neck.
have a question.
Would you be able to
Affordability.
deal with the rising
Affordability.
rents? Affordability.
That's what.
That's what I'm talking about. Affordability.
Well, I'll go back to, like, I'll reiterate what I just said. I think we can use also any empty office buildings, and especially any empty lots, especially on Northern Boulevard that we have. That's where we can build more affordable housing, those empty lots, so that we have more supply to meet the demand to combat the affordable housing.
Okay.
Okay.
So now we're gonna go to individual interviews. If the press wants to interview anybody individually, please. Thank you.
NTD.
Democratic nomination in this primary. Born and raised in Bayside, went to Queens College for teaching social studies, and I'm just trying to fix what is broken within the Democratic Party and in the city. Because as a young person,
I gave out.
the world is so wacky that young people can't, like myself, can't just stand around and do nothing. We have to do something. And that's why I'm running.
So, eventually it's almost to the Chinese. So,
How do I help the Chinese youth? Well, from my time in door knocking, in District 19 we have about 2/3 of the population is Chinese. So, as an educator, I want
City Hall needs you
to
to
make sure that the Chinese community, that they came from China or other countries, depending, I want to make sure that their kids have the best education possible. And the way I think we can do that is by, at the city level, we have to build more schools. We have a not just a housing crisis, but a building crisis, the overcrowding of the schools, and the only way their kids will get into the best college possible, as they so rightfully deserve, right? Just anyone, as any New Yorker deserves, is to get the attention from the teacher, and the only way they do that, and we know this, is by smaller classroom sizes. The state has already done this to an extent, making it 25 kids per classroom. But I think we can help with that and make it smaller by building more schools and making our communities free. For those who want to go to like Queens College and get ACOM or whatever, do whatever. That's the other thing. I want. So it helps give them more money in their pocket for their kids.
So other than education, our Chinese community are focused on the safety. Do you have any policies?
Yes. So there is the College Point Precinct 109A, which I had talked with Community Board 7 about their whole history. I know it's been taking about a decade to do that. I think we should move forward in the next step to that process, which is putting a permanent precinct in Fort Totten. I was just there yesterday to celebrate 4th of July. There was a Bayside event there. There's plenty of space there. I think we can put a precinct there. We already have our FDNY there. We have EMS training there. So, because the 109 precinct is right here in Flushing, and as someone who is in Bay Terrace right there, it takes a very long time and for the 109 to come to my house in case something happens. And
That's because I think the 109 is just too spread out. So I mean, they need another base of operations closer to somewhere Bay Terrace. And I think Fort Knox would be the perfect area. I think it's common sense that we have again FDMY there. We should have NYPD there too. There's plenty of space to put them there. We can reuse a building or so. There's a lot of condemned buildings around.
Will you be working with the district leaders like me, Martha Flores Vasquez?
And of course, I would be happy to work with the district leader Martha Flores Vasquez on this issue, as she is in charge of the 109 precinct and by extension the 109A precinct, and other district leaders who I hope after today will come out and support me in this endeavor and other endeavors.
Ismael Malave, you will be next.
Thank you. Malave.
So, John, running controller.
Correct.
And what controller?
I've worked for 5 controllers, and I managed about $2 billion of the city's real estate portfolio. So as the candidate, I understand what people are going through. I feel their pain, and what I will do is I'm going to make sure that once elected, I address issues that affect the community the most. I'm going to identify any ways for corruption at the agency level to make sure that the taxpayer services are provided, and at the end, from the beginning to the end, the money that's allocated for certain services or resources is appreciated by the taxpayer. It's actually delivered to the taxpayer. So mismanagement occurs at the city level across the board, and I'm going to aim to fix the city's finances. One of the main initiatives that I'm pushing for is to overhaul the city's financial model. I have a virtual twin, or what they call a digital twin concept. I have a white paper on it. It's called the Monetary Applications Portal. It's going to be the city's new map to identify how much money was allocated to agencies, how much money has been drawn down, how much money actually is still left at the budget level. It will monitor how Wall Street performance is doing, where are we with jobs in the city, how the state budget is affecting the city's finances, as well as the federal budget. So, there's a lot of proposals to cut a lot of services and a lot of resources from the federal budget. So I want to make sure that those cuts don't impact the city's residents in a way that it hurts them. Once again, my name is Ismael Malave, and I'm here for the community. I'm the people's candidate.
Thank you.
Marty, you're next.
Oh, okay. No, we never-
Public advocate.
Public, okay. I can memorize the
Got you
name.
live on Facebook.
Would you like to move a little
So please introduce yourself first.
Sure, I'm Marty Dolan. I'm a candidate for public advocate in the city of New York. I'm on the Democratic ballot. Early voting has already started, and the last voting day is Tuesday. There are 2 other candidates on the ballot, one of whom is the incumbent, who is Jumaane Williams. Jumaane Williams has been public advocate for almost 5 years already, 5.5 years, because he completed the term of Letitia James. And if he is re-elected, that means he will have been public advocate for 10 years. And so far he has accomplished nothing.
what your policies, the main policies what will affect the Chinese Asian countries?
Sure. So, really simply, the job of the public advocate is to make sure that the resources of New York are spread fairly around the city, geographically, by community, by age group. That has not been done. So there has been a period of very strong bias against the outer boroughs. So the outer boroughs have been really used as a dumping ground for the city's problems. And by that I mean the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn. There has been a period of where we had strong anti-Asian bias, And then lately we had anti-Semitism. We had violent protests on college campuses. And I think that you have to think of the public advocate job as like being a forest ranger. And you're looking over the forest. And it can take one match and the whole forest can go up in flames. So it's not a complicated job. You just have to have the tools ready and you have to be vigilant. But be vigilant across the entire city. So you have to have relationships built with the Asian community, with the Jewish community, with the black community, evenly. Right now the performance has been very uneven. And that's one of the reasons I'm running for public advocate. So that's the first thing you do, is you got to make sure that you have a good feedback system from the city so you can listen to the city and understand where the problems are.
Yes. Welcome to Flushing. This is my district. I'm Martha Flores Vasquez, State Assembly District Leader. I am standing in front of the Flushing Town Hall steps because I feel that today it's important for the world to know that we have citywide candidates running, we have local candidates running, we have Marty Dolan for Public Advocate, we have Ismael Malave for New York City Comptroller, we have Alex Caruso, which is the purpose of me being here today, to endorse him because he will be representing part of my district. I believe he has marched in every parade with me, talking about Puerto Rican parade, to the Asian parade, to, what was that parade in the city, Alex, where we marched from here? The Japanese parade, Falun Dafa community parade.
Oh, yes.
We need more people to support Falun Dafa because they have been victims in my district. They have been victims throughout the city, and we need to put that to an end. And I thank the police department, I thank the federal government. I know that there's a lot of things in place right now and that I don't stand alone anymore. But with these gentlemen on my side, with these gentlemen on your side, we have people that if we vote for them, they will be our voice. And don't forget that your vote is your voice. So vote for Ismael Malave for New York City Comptroller, Alex Caruso for City Council District 19, and vote please for Marty Dolan. We need a good public advocate. Thank you so much, and welcome to my community, Flushing. Thank you.
So many Falun Dafa practitioners in Flushing, and all of you support them?
Everyone supports the meditation of Falun Dafa. Everybody supports religious rights and cultural rights. And for that reason, we stand together. So yes, the answer is yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't forget to vote.
Thank you.